Howdy. If anyone's there.
Howdy. Howdy ho, good neighbor.
Can you have these? Are these GF?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all right. Look at that.
You know it. Hold on, kids. We're going to share this real quick. And we're going to get to the good stuff. Come on. No, it's not working. Well, I can't do it there. Let's see.
Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for
hi,
bearing
Jennifer.
with
How
us.
are you? Yeah,
Well,
sorry.
we're fiddling around here.
We don't fiddle.
Fiddle.
Here we go. KCP live. Join us.
USO. There we go.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
You ready?
Yep.
Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening. This is Kinetic Chaos Podcast number 69. I am your host, Will, joined as always by my good friend Wes.
Right here I am after a 2-week hiatus, I think. We got a
2 weeks.
long time off.
52 to go.
That's
this
right.
is the first Thursday of 2019. How we doing?
Fantastic.
Why are we doing so fantastic?
We got Chex Mix, which
Damn
is
right.
pretty
That's
much
all I have, the
all
only
anybody
answer.
needs
Yeah,
to live
exactly.
off of.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tia, this Chex Mix is amazing. And I just wanted to let you know that I saved it for this moment on purpose. Because you give my friend Wes way too hard of a time. So I wanted to have some ammunition, some bro time with the wonderful Chex Mix.
Appreciate that.
Made. So,
I appreciate that.
Unfortunately, I'm on the wrong side of the Chex Mix. I will not be eating any more of it, as it's to my left. And
You can
we know how that
you can
works.
hook a pretzel, can't you?
I can hook a pretzel.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be hooking anything anytime soon, Wes. We all know that. Well, yeah, it has been 2 weeks from this fine evening since we took a little break for the, the holidays. Yeah, right? Why not? You know, you just forget that you're on air and all that good stuff. So you just reach over, grab some Chex Mix. The last time we were sitting in this chair, we were eating some wonderful salsa from Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is still... In fact, I may or may not have brokered a deal for more. So, we'll have more. We'll have an update on that.
Let me know how that goes, because I can take a few quart-sized jars in exchange for something else there.
I don't know that he's doling it out in quart-sized jars, but I do know that he's going to have more. So, anyway, we're excited to join you in the first... this will be the first full year of KCP.
That's right. I didn't think about that.
We started in, I believe, March 7th is our birthday. So we've got that coming up. But what's a good... What? I mean, obviously there's going to be all kinds of good things that happened to you since the last time we broadcast. But let's nail it down 5 or 10 of them.
So aside from the Chex Mix.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because that was the best part of it since then.
Well, aside from the usual Christmas stuff, which was all fantastic and good, loved watching the kids open presents and, you know, watching their expressions and just having fun with that. But
and evidently rubbing pudding all over their faces.
Yeah, that was an extracurricular Christmas activity last night. Yeah,
extracurricular Christmas.
Yeah,
ECCA, huh?
Yeah. My wife decided to give him chocolate pudding, and I kind of wonder ahead of time, I don't think this is going to go over very well.
Well, it's going to go over fine.
Yeah.
It's going to go all over fine.
Yeah. And he got about halfway through the bowl doing a good job, and what did we do? We turned our backs on him for like 1 minute. We turned back around.
A whole minute?
30 seconds maybe. Who knows? Turn back around.
28 seconds too long, bro.
Yeah, turn back around, chocolate pudding all over the face. Looks like I had a mud mask on, like he was going to a spa day kind of thing. But, yeah. So that didn't... then she promptly threw the wet washcloth at me and had me clean him up. So
wow.
That was pretty fair, I think. Not. But other than that, I would say the good thing that happened to me since the last couple of weeks is that we got our 10-year wedding anniversary vacation booked to Vegas. at the end of July. So really, really fired up for that. We love Vegas, and it's been a long time since we've been there. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, Vegas is excited to have you as well.
That's right.
Now, give us the rundown on that. Where you staying? What you got going?
We got a sweet deal through Southwest Airlines, the old package deal with the flight and hotel. So we're staying at Planet Hollywood, which is pretty much dead center strip.
Yeah, it is. That's a really good look. And isn't that where Miracle Mile is?
Yes, it is. Yep. And so we got the whole shebang, round trip nonstop flights for us, and 3 nights at a hotel for just a hair over $500, which is insane. Wow. I couldn't believe it was that cheap, so we dove all over it as soon as we saw that price.
You dove all over?
Dove all over, yep. Don't want that price going up.
No.
So, yeah. So, third week of July, we'll be down there, so it's going to be a good time.
Toasty time.
Well, that's the only time we like to go.
Really?
We went one time. We've been every time in either late July, early August. We went once in January, and we had to wear hoodies, and that just felt wrong. Doing Vegas in a hoodie, that's not natural.
Hey.
You're out over there?
Yeah, I haven't plugged
You're not
my
plugged
mic
in? Wow.
Thank you. That's our tech support. That's what happens when...
I plugged in. That's the
Yeah,
question.
you're plugged in.
Yeah, there we go. There's
My
the connection.
goodness.
All right, so yeah. So Vegas,
Yes, I'm distant in the brain.
So Vegas has been booked, so looking forward. Let the countdown begin.
I may actually be down there next month. Hold on. I'm getting more checks mixed because that's the important thing right now. So my work has their big summit. We have this big summit thing. And
Like the UN?
yes,
okay.
Except for real estate brokers. So absolutely nothing gets done. It's just an excuse for all of us to write a trip to Vegas.
So just like the UN then. I think it's not perfect.
It's either, I think it's either next month or the month after. One of the two. It's at the end of the month. And so I think I'll be going down there to take part in I'll be taking part in whatever the summit thing is that we do. I've taken quite a interest in all of our teaching and stuff like that.
Cool.
But I've done Vegas in the winter. I've done Vegas in the summer. I got to say the winter is where I want to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
It's too damn hot.
But that's the point of, you can duck into all the casinos and it's like 35 degrees with the AC on in the casinos. You get yourself a cocktail, cold beverage, and you just cruise the strip. So you get...
Yeah, I don't want to be outside.
Of both worlds. You get like the nice hot experience, and if it gets too hot, then boom, there's a casino right there for you.
I think what it really boils down to is that I enjoy the fact that I'm escaping the overly crappy weather here in the Great Northwest in, say, mid-January or February.
Yeah.
Or December, for that matter. And I'm getting down there, and it's like 75 or even 65, but it's not raining, and I could still... If I wanted to, I could wear shorts, but I can certainly wear a T-shirt.
Right.
Most of the time.
Yep.
So, but that, we know that I'm like one of the coldest people on earth.
That's true.
And for me to say that I don't like the heat, but that 110, that's a different animal. You like that?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
See, I can handle it with the desert heat like that, but if we're talking like South and East Coast, if you mix in the humidity, no, that's no bueno. But if it's a dry heat, not to be confused with dry heave, but dry heat. Then
Thank you. Yep. That's what my computer needed was Chex Mix on it because Wes made me spit all over it. So anyway, no, it's a lot of fun, and I mean either way, you can't help because you can always be out of the elements, whatever you want to do.
Right. Exactly.
So that's what matters.
Yep.
Well, something good that happened to me is obviously, we had the holidays and all that good stuff. And I will say on the technical KCP aspect, we got our live stream up and going, and we have dang near a professional gamer on our team in Derek. Evidently today he went in and won with somebody else a tournament against a bunch of like professional YouTubers.
Wow.
And so you can find him on the Twitch stream, KCP_DSlay, DSLAY. On Fortnite, our handle is KCP Gaming. And we will be expanding KCP Gaming as things progress. And Brandon has agreed to join us for Battlefield. And Billy, Hojo's Billy, and Vic are going to join us from the northeast part of the state. Tomorrow I'm going to be touching base with them on some stuff I've been reading up on streaming, and that our big thing is we want to put together the KCP stream team. Not dream team, stream team. And so that's our goal for that. So we'll be moving forward. But for us, for Derek and I, just to physically get that figured out, it's not like you just flip some switch. You have to have this, I don't know if it's an emulator or what, but you download it and then you run the game, and this is running basically on top of it, and you've got to, anyway, it was quite the undertaking to get it done for a novice noob like me. So that was the key to that. But anyway, we've got a good news story, and that's I read all the rest of the stories, but I did not read this one. This is an officer drives a couple to their wedding after they got into an accident.
Yeah, so this was in upstate New York. A couple on their way to their wedding, got in a fender bender, and the responding officer at the scene chatted with him for a bit, and evidently, I'm assuming the car was a little too far gone to be driven. And so they towed the car, and the officer told the couple to jump in, and he continued them on their way to their wedding. And
that's awesome.
He hung around to witness and sign the marriage certificate at the wedding too.
What?
just for fun, they asked him to.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
No, yeah, the couple asked him to sign their marriage certificate. So.
I have a story that is exactly like this, except far more redneck and washougal. So, oh boy, this is before Kim and I were together. So I was probably 20, somewhere around there. I remember I worked for my parents at the time. And we go to Seattle with a guy that we went to high school with named Kenny something. I can't remember his last name. Anyway, so we drive up there, and he's telling us. Now, Kenny and I don't get along too well. Okay? At that time, we didn't. Not that I haven't seen him since then. He's regaling us with how awesome a driver he is. Okay? He's driving his grandmother's Caprice Classic. Like the mid, like 84 yacht. And there are 6 of us in this thing. And we're roomy. I mean, I got Big Daddy Brian Kane and his brother Kenny and his girlfriend. So there were 6 of us in there, and we're going to the Tacoma Dome for WWF.
Yes.
That's why we're going up there. We're barreling along. We stop, get something to eat, whatever. We are coming around the corner, and I'm not shitting you, a mile before this. He tells us, I've never gotten in a wreck or anything like that. I'm not kidding you. If you guys, anyone that has taken this trip, you go I-5 north, and just before you make the bend, or you see the Tacoma Dome, you go around a corner.
Yep.
Well, knuckleheads driving, I don't know, 80 miles an hour in something that should not be traveling 80 miles an hour, and that's a Caprice Classic with 6 people in it, and one of them bragging about how good of a driver he is. So he sees it's just a parking lot right in front of us, and it's like, boom, just drill somebody so badly that we're all fine because that car is like a land grab. Yeah, exactly. Although I'm sure I could have taken somebody for something. But now I'm louder. That's because I'm louder than Wes just because that's normal. Come on.
Yeah.
You know that. Anyway, so the state patrol comes, and one of the state patrolmen that showed up, super nice guy. Totally nice. He's like, hey, you guys want to ride? We're like, sure. So there's 6 of us, so we can't all pack into one cop car. So the other cop that was there says, begrudgingly gave the rest of them. But Big Daddy and I got into this cop, and totally nice. Drops us off right at the front of the Tacoma Dome. And we're like, this is amazing. Here's the problem. When you wreck a car in Tacoma and you live in Vancouver, you don't have a way home. And the Tacoma Dome, especially 21 years ago, not exactly where you want to be hanging out.
Still not.
Yeah, no.
Not so much, yeah.
Big Daddy and I needed a can of snooze, to be completely upfront. Yeah, this is after the event. we got to see Hulk, or not Hulk, Stone Cold, The Rock, everyone. We're like, we weren't going to miss the show because we didn't have a car. I mean, come on, let's be honest. So we go, and now it's 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. We're in Tacoma. We've got no way to get home. I'm 20, 21 maybe. And so I can't rent a car. So luckily, this guy must have smoked at least an ounce of weed before he came and picked us up from the hotel to drive us to SeaTac, because that's where the nearest car place was.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, while we were waiting an hour and 20 minutes for him to get there, because this is a cab back then, Brian and I walked to an AM/PM or whatever, and this AM/PM has such high crime that there's an off-duty Seattle cop right standing in front of it in plain clothes with a gun on his hip. And why I decided that I should walk there and back at 12:30-ish at night. So by the time it was all said and done, we take the mystery machine full of all the weed smoke. I mean, it was no joke. This guy has got the corn to 28 on the stereo. Hey man, I mean, total stereotypical. And gets us there. We finally get the rig, and I get home at 5:30 in the morning or something. I got to be to work. My folks, needless to say, were not exactly happy with me on that trip. But yeah, so that was my really long story on going and getting in a Kenny Hunt. That was it.
Name sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, he was I think he was a class of 94.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, that was a good time. Probably, but State Patrolman saved our day too.
There you go.
Delivered Brian and I to the front door so we could see Stone Cold and The Rock. Well, the first one, we're going to get into the hot sheet real quick before we get the freestyle rocking and rolling. The thing that's been on our mind, and I think kind of everyone's mind politically, is the fact that the U.S. government is partially shut down at the moment.
And it's still going on, and the Dems took over the House today. It was the first day of the new session, and the big sticking point, of course, is the funding for the border wall. Trump wants, was it $5.1 billion, somewhere in that in that neighborhood, and then the Dems are offering basically a quarter of that for border security, but they don't want the actual wall. So it's the tit for tat back and forth, and I don't see it ending anytime soon. But no, it's not. I
am actually. I love the fact that they have spun it now to border security.
Yeah,
I love that they've got that now. I mean, would they offer $1.5 billion?
Yeah,
for border security?
That's the Democrats' thing, is they want the quote unquote border security. They want extra staffing and drones. They don't want a wall with it, but they want other stuff. So that's their thing, is they don't want a border wall. They want border security via other instruments.
Why don't they have a border wall underground? Because that's where everyone travels around the border.
That's right. It's
these neat tunnel things that they've got. These Mexican cartels have a little bit of money to spare, and they, it's not a 300-foot shack. It's a half a mile long, damn near Miracle Mile.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
What's your take on it? Not to get
the shutdown
deep.
part?
Or no, the wall.
The wall. It's just another. I mean, yes, it can be somewhat effective, but it's not going to be the end of the story. I mean, it's not going to solve all the problems. So,
I think it's a Band-Aid type thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just like gun control in Chicago.
Yeah.
Who has some of the toughest gun control laws in the nation and has the highest shooting or murder rate in the nation. It sounds good, but the efficacy of it is zero, because we have a lot of the border with a wall already, and you're going to keep the people out that are, I guess, quote unquote, honest. But the ones that really want to get here they'll fire themselves over in a cannon.
Yep.
I mean, they will find a way.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like. Okay, now I understand that what they say. I read a number. The cost was around $100 billion. What it costs us for illegal immigrants each year?
Yes, I can't remember. Yeah, I've seen the number.
It's a big number. My main thing is if the main route that they're getting here, other than these caravans and whatnot, is through other means than just running across the border. And look at what it will, the possibilities of the environmental impact of it as well, because it's going to have an impact on the environment. So, I mean, drones, if anything, having something heat-seeking, a drone with a heat-seeking infrared on it.
Yeah.
Not heat-seeking, not like firing missiles at them. I'm like Airwolf up there or something. But, something like that would be more effective than a wall, because it can see it can alert you and tell you exactly where it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There is no good answer to
no,
that.
That's for sure.
But as for the shutdown, this is just becoming a high school pissing match. And now that we've got the new Congress installed, I don't see the Republicans winning. I don't, or at least Trump anyway.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I just don't. So I think that they're so ready to take him down. I mean, today was like a shooting gallery today on Twitter.
Yep.
So, well, speaking of New Year's, unfortunately, there was a vehicle that plowed into a crowd in New Year's. This was New Year's Day, though. They were watching a parade or something.
Right. This was in Tokyo. As you said, a car plowed into a crowd of people. There were 8 injured. Originally, as anybody probably would suspect, would be a terrorism incident. Mm-hmm. But they later found out, the authorities determined it was not the case, and that it was this guy basically making a political statement against capital punishment. So he was
killing people, trying to kill people.
Somehow that made sense to him. But so he was basically doing it for political purposes. It wasn't a terrorism-related thing. But luckily, as of the last report that I saw, there were no fatalities, so that's good.
That's very good, but it's that, again, you have to question what's the motive. If what point are you getting across by killing people and you're trying not anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
The new president of Mexico, whose name I have dialed up here because Wes has decided to challenge me.
I think I've seen his name, but I can't even remember it. So.
It is Andre Manuel Lopez Obrador. He has proposed the creation of economic free zones along the U.S.-Mexico border.
This is kind of an interesting thing, although I don't necessarily like the socialist policies behind it, but it's an interesting thought process, at least. If they want to do it, more power to them. Is their way to try to get a handle on the illegal immigrants flooding across their border into the U.S. Is they want to do a big swath of land near the border and incentivize people to stay there, make it a tax haven basically, and have people stay there rather than trying to just pass through and jump the border to the U.S. So in this area that they're looking at, the proposal is to have income taxes cut by a third, and the VAT taxes, the value-added taxes on imported goods, cut by 50%. The other parts of this that they talked about, they want to double the minimum wage there, and they want to align their gas prices with the U.S. average. And so all of this combined, they think is going to decrease the incentive for people to try to cross the border when they can just stay there and live the easy life, basically.
Well, I mean, but what are we looking at in terms of the minimum wage federally is 7 or 9?
No, but this is in this is Mexico.
It would be funded by Mexico.
No, but this is on the Mexican side of the border. This is this is the Mexican president in this swath of land just on the Mexico side of the border.
I thought I thought he was trying to create like a DMZ type situation
right. No, it's a swath of land on the Mexico side of the border, trying to get people who are in the area to stay there and not jump over the border. So,
well, I think that there's, you have so many different things that come into play when it comes to immigration. Everything from, everything from working, family conditions, family being up here. Sometimes they're mules. I mean, there's all kinds of different motives for them to want to come up here. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of them come up here planning to be sent back. And so it's just a matter of, but if it's we thought that Mexico was going to pay for that wall.
Yeah.
Which was
Trump did.
hilarious.
I don't think anybody else thought that, but Trump thought that.
Well, hey, Wes, I'm buying a Lamborghini tomorrow, and you're paying
I'm
for
paying
it.
for it. Good deal.
Sweet. I said it, so it's going to happen, right?
There you go. That's right.
That's the way
Bank
that works,
it,
right?
yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, Sears is... it's got... Hey, it's still alive, so you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So they got a last-minute reprieve. I believe this was last Friday, was the deadline for them to try to secure some sort of funding to keep them from going into total liquidation and disappearing. And their chairman, who had run them most recently, I think it's Eddie Lampert,
Yep.
I think is the name, made a couple different bids, basically Plan A and Plan B. Plan A is he was going to pay $4.4 billion to buy out 425 stores. And then if the bankruptcy court and the creditors weren't happy with that, his Plan B option was to, and they didn't give the dollar amount on it, but to pay a lesser amount and only keep 250 stores. And just for context, when Sears filed for bankruptcy most recently in October, they had 700 stores. So we're basically looking at, getting rid of half of the remaining Sears to keep it alive. And I don't know how many times through different iterations, be it the parent company Sears Holdings or the store they took over, Kmart out of bankruptcy. There have been so many bankruptcies with this overall company in the past. It's like, here we go again. They're going to try to breathe new life into it.
Well, you know who's making money on it, though.
Yeah.
M&A.
Yeah.
And attorneys. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
And they've sold off all their valuable, like their big name, Craftsman was their go-to name, and they've already sold the licensing off on that years ago. So it's just, it's just a shell of its former self, and why why Lampert thinks it's a good idea to try to pump a bunch of cash into it to keep this dying pig going. I don't understand. But
there's a reason for it somewhere, and that I don't know, but there's absolutely a reason that he is, and I can see why the creditors were disturbed by the fact that he wants to float $1.8 billion on credit to buy it. I mean, why buy on margin if you don't have to?
Yeah.
You don't want to go into a sinking ship with a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And so I just don't really understand that, but it is what it is. And Eddie Lampert obviously knows more stuff about things than we do, because...
famous saying, a fool and his money are soon parted, right here.
Yeah, I guess.
Throwing a bunch of cash and it's going to get flushed down the toilet.
But what is the reason? And he's been doing it for a while. I mean, he's obviously excited about it.
Yeah, maybe just because he thinks... because he's got the cash, that he thinks he can be the hero and come in and save the day. I don't know if it's I'm sure it's at least partly driven by ego.
I
thinking
can't
that
believe
you can
that
resurrect a company on your own.
I don't believe you that ego could have anything to do with that. Well, it's time for crunch time. You ready to rock and roll?
Crunch time?
Not crunch time, freestyle. Holy moly. That's what happens when I'm trying to, again, I'm, what am I doing? I'm in, what's that when you do two things at one time as a man? Yes, multitasking. I don't do it very often, so no, I do. What are you going to start with?
I've got two sports-related ones. I like staying on the sports theme here.
Yeah, me too.
The last few episodes. So one thing that, again, I'm not a big basketball guy, so you may have to correct me on this, but I think at least in maybe preseason stuff or some of the D-League stuff, they're doing ads on uniforms now.
They do it in the NBA.
Oh,
if you look at the Blazers, they have a biofreeze.
And that's like new this year, right? Is that?
I think it started last
year? Okay.
Ish year.
So bottom line is, what I'm getting at is, are you a fan of advertising on uniforms? And I look at it because I see, not that I watch like the Japanese baseball league, but if you see highlights on SportsCenter or whatever, their uniforms, they're like a walking billboard. Their uniforms are plastered with ads over in Japan and Taiwan and stuff like that. And that looks so trashy and tacky. I don't know. I certainly hope we don't ever see that kind of look over here.
Well, the problem is that we already have it with soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer has, I mean, if you look at the Timbers, it just says Alaska Airlines on the front of their jersey.
That's true, yeah.
And if you look at the Sounders are they Alaska? Or I think they have a partnership with Alaska as well. But a lot of them are like that. You have the Washington D.C. the New York Red Bulls. That's the name of the team, is the Bulls, the Red Bulls. So,
but that's soccer, so soccer doesn't count. So we're talking a real sport. No.
Yeah.
But no, I just remember reading about a couple years ago that the NBA was going to start dabbling in that, and I thought, it's a slippery slope because
I think it's a natural progression though, because you see what, again, over in Europe, what soccer has and what their basketball uniforms. Now, I think I'm trying to be careful saying this. I think they have done a good job of being classy with the ads that we've seen so far. It's nothing overwhelming. It's not eye-catching or anything like that. Hell, I didn't know what BioFreeze was until this year. Now, I'm almost certain that they had BioFreeze on there last year.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but it wasn't until I thought it was some like deal that you rubbed on your knee or something. That's what I thought it was, but evidently it's
like Tiger Balm.
Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong, but I still to this day couldn't tell you.
I mean, because you already have. I mean, it's been this way in stadiums for a long time. Your stadiums are plastered with billboards and ads.
Your courts
360. Oh yeah, exactly. So I mean, your stadiums, your playing fields, because even in the a lot of the college stuff now will have banner ads around the
at the Rose Bowl. I was watching the Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
and it was, obviously the Rose Bowl is the name of the stadium, but then they named the damn field. It's like, okay, I understand what you're doing, but it's still aggravating when you've got, George S. Platoon Field at the mezzanine of U.S. Bank Corp, brought to you by...
And then that's the other slippery slope if you flip on, not the advertising on the unis, but like you mentioned, the college bowl games.
Yeah.
Is you've got like 3 sponsors for the bowl game, so it takes you 30 seconds to name the bowl because you got 3 title sponsors that are sponsoring the
other thing
Rogaine Bowl. So
well, yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, we'll get into this in a second. The number of you're exactly right, but my point is, I just got like 4 ideas at once. Sorry, that. They have records, and PMT was talking about this yesterday or one of the days. There's different records for these bowl games. So it's the All-State Sugar Bowl record for, first downs. Well, before it was All-State Sugar Bowl, then, it's like they change the records whenever they rename it.
Blast from the past, wasn't it before that? Wasn't it the Nokia Sugar Bowl? I think Nokia used to be a sponsor.
I think they were.
That, yeah. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because you always had Tostitos with the Fiesta Bowl. And the Rose Bowl didn't get an...
Yeah, it's never had a mainstay, I don't think.
I think there had to have been. Although it is the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, that's right.
Yeah, paying the salaries.
Exactly.
Yeah. But then when it comes to college, and you got to pay the coach. We got Saban making $7.5 million to coach a college team. It's like, man.
Well, what about our boy Jim Bob Cooter losing his job?
Yep.
That has got to go down as one of the top names in sports.
That's awesome.
Jim. The first time I thought I was watching Saturday Night Live or something. Like, there's no way there's some guy's named Jim Bob Cooter.
Yep.
And lo and behold. Again, the truth is stranger than fiction.
I love the Southern double first names like that. It's cracked me up every time. So.
William Robert.
Yeah.
Sorry. Or no. Yeah. Anyway, so what I was going to ask is just discuss is you have all these bowl games, and the fact that we've got the scaries coming up of no more football. I mean, we're staring down the barrel of 11 more football games or 12 more football games this year.
Yeah.
That is no bueno.
See, for me, it's a perfect world because I love baseball.
It isn't a perfect world.
I love baseball and football close to equally. I like baseball more, but I like football a lot too. And so to me, it's perfect timing because, baseball is a long season. By the time you get to the playoffs and World Series, you're like, it'd be nice for a change of pace. And hey, here comes football. And by the time football season winds down, boy, I miss baseball. And boom, there it is for you. So for me, it's perfect.
Did you say whoop, there it is?
So boom, yeah, there you go. So for me, it's perfect because it's a year-round entertainment that way. I get my fill of both sports that I like, and they offset each other, so it's just nonstop year-round entertainment.
Yeah, I could go football. Now, not that I want football or am advocating for 18 different leagues, which I'm not, and I know they're coming, but I really love football. I love baseball, but it is, as I have gotten older, I have drifted away from it. It's always been the game I'm most knowledgeable about by far. I played it the longest. I don't know if it was the best sport I played, but it was probably the second best sport I played. And so it has this deep, most of my family has, or, my house has something named after the Yankees. And so that all is something that I love, but it's really tough to sit down for 4 hours and watch a game.
Yeah.
Now that's why I like the NBA. I mean, and with the DVR, holy moly, I love the DVR because I'm moving through games, just bang, bang, bang. But my original question was, we see the gameplay. Did you watch the Cheez-It Bowl by chance?
Yeah. No, I think that's another stupid sponsor.
Right.
I think I watched a portion of it. I don't think I watched.
They had 9 interceptions. Okay. I believe because it was Cal and Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Something like no. Yeah. Anyway, some school down in Texas. 9 interceptions. I think there was 3 interceptions in like the course of 4 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It was like they were just playing backyard, chuck the ball around. Old Brett Favre was slipping around in his Wranglers. And anyway, but at some point, don't you think that they've got to shrink? And I know that, we had this discussion about how many games, but I think when you start playing games like December 13th, there's absolutely no one in the world that cares.
Yeah.
And
there are way too many bowl games. Like you said, it's like the conference championships end and boom, next week you start the bowl games. It's like it used to be more closer to New Year's. In between Christmas and New Year's is when you used to start the bowls, and now they back them all the way up into early December. It's ridiculous.
Well, you have Capital One Bowl week. You had it, but now it is. I mean, and now that we don't have the BCS games.
Yeah.
That's we used to have like a week of big bowl games. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night.
That's right.
So to piggyback on that, and another question I have before you get into your other freestyle, what are your takes on New Year's Eve television shows? Just New Year's Eve in general. What do you think about New Year's Eve now that you're nearly 40 years old?
It's just another day. It's kind of like birthday. It's just another day to me.
Your birthday or somebody else's?
No, my birthday. I don't care about my birthday. It's just another day. So, New Year's Eve is cool to hang out with family, watch a movie, play games, whatever. But, the whole counting down. Heck, I can't even make it till midnight anymore.
You didn't make it to midnight?
No.
Legit didn't?
Well, no, I mean, we were awake at midnight because of the cannons going off outside. But
did you hear them? They were awesome.
We had somebody down the hill from us spent a truckload of money. They had just all the aerial mortars. You could go boom, and then bam. Just you can hear them launch, and then like a 2-second delay until the big report happens.
Yeah,
but yeah, and they were going on for like an hour. So somebody dropped some serious change on that.
Wow. Well, we had somebody here because we got a few, nothing major, but we got a few fireworks, and Derek and I went out. And it was relatively early in the evening, maybe 7 o'clock or something. We did fondue. We make it a little bit of a just a gathering. It was just the boys and whatnot, but my folks, and we had fondue, which was awesome. And Kim made chocolate fondue.
Oh boy.
Holy moly. That is dangerous stuff. It is amazing. But somebody over yonder, about blew the house off the foundation. I could not believe how big that that first boom was. It was incredible. I was like, hey, cool, just don't blow us all up.
10 M80 strapped together kind of thing.
No, it was a mortar.
Oh, an aerial.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Because it was the boom, and then it went off up in the air.
That's
I was
what
like,
we had.
wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
We had some cool ones, and there was. I think this is probably the first time though that I've watched a New Year's show dang near start to finish. We played Charades, which was a kick in the pants. That was a lot of fun. Except
doing games like board games or that kind of stuff is cool. But I certainly can't get into like what the downfall of society has become now with the TV shows like that. It's like because we talked about I sent you that video clip of Anderson Cooper drinking Fireball.
That was hilarious.
Oh, I mean, it's just
how do you not practice that before you get on TV, knowing that you're going to be an Insta meme?
Yeah.
In no time.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But it's just gotten to it's devolved to the point of who can do the more stupid things on air. Basically, it's like that's what the New Year's Eve shows have become. It seems like.
So. See, Now we watched exclusively the Dick Clark New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest and Jenny McCarthy, and it was almost the entire thing was musical acts. That's it. They did a couple of interviews, but I mean, it actually, the funniest part of it was listening to the boys say, who's New Kids on the Block?
Yeah.
Who's Christina Aguilera? We're like, are you serious? I mean, there were a lot of acts, though, from back in the day.
And what was it? I think I sent you that article. I think, was it NBC, the ones that missed the ball drop? Because
that I didn't hear about. That's nuts. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I forget if they were yakking on air or doing some stupid stunts or whatever, but... Yeah,
how does a producer miss
exactly.
that?
So the producer was probably doing shots with them too. So
watching Anderson.
Yeah. So with I think it was NBC. The article said, and I don't know because I didn't watch, but the article said that they basically missed the entire countdown and the ball drop because they were off goofing off and doing other stuff. They forgot to cut to a different camera to show the ball drop. So
well, that director is probably getting fired.
Yeah,
and producer for not being an Anderson or whoever the host was. It Carson Daly?
Yes, for NBC. I think that's who they said it was. Yeah.
Well, I think Seacrest did a phenomenal job, and having Jenny McCarthy up there, I learned something though. She is married to Donnie Wahlberg. Yeah. I had no idea.
And you said the New Kids were on the show.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, they've got a big tour. You know that?
Oh.
Are you getting tickets?
Oh, they are coming here.
I think so.
Yeah, to the Rose Garden. I showed my wife that, but they play one of their concerts fairly regularly on one of the concert channels on TV.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
You have tickets to the Matthew McConaughey show by chance?
No, just the Pink concert coming up in April. That's their only concert on the docket so far. So
Tia's just stalking Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
She's got his address down in Texas.
I got
somewhere.
to use a haircut though.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
No,
the perm.
Anything he wants to do, that man can do. Okay, you can be naked on the bongos all you want if you're Matthew McConaughey. So anyway, no, I just think that it's especially now with the trouble that you get in with getting a DUI, the risk you put yourself in.
Yeah.
And it's nice just to stay home.
Oh, yeah.
And even if you have somebody else drive for you, all of that's great, grand, wonderful. You're still at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And so other than, if I was going to go somewhere, I'd go early in the day and I try to just stay there overnight. Like go to the mountain or
right.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah,
now that's something that I do want to get on my list is possibly even the day after Christmas through the day after New Year's Day up at the mountain or 3 or 4 days
there,
or probably a bachelor or something like that so you can go down in the bend and whatnot. I think that would be fun. Cool. So what's your next one?
So the other one is other sports topic is the Pittsburgh Steelers turning into a dumpster fire here.
I guess.
Of course, we have the whole Le'Veon Bell thing, which started at the beginning of the year of him not reporting, and he held out the entire year, missed the whole season because he was disgruntled about not being offered a longer guaranteed contract. And then now the Antonio Brown thing comes to light, and the fact that he got into an argument. There's conflicting reports whether or not he got into an argument with Roethlisberger or some other player during a walkthrough prior to the Week 17 game, and left that practice and then skipped the practice the subsequent day. And then he was benched for the game and didn't play. And people, because I guess he had like a lingering knee injury, so the initial thought was, okay, that he's probably his knee is acting up, so that's why he's not playing. But then after the game was over, then it came out that he was benched for disciplinary reasons by Tomlin for, I guess he threw a football, like chucked a football at somebody's head in practice and stormed out of there, and then didn't show the next day for practice. And so Tomlin said, you're done. You're not playing. So there's obviously bad blood between he and Tomlin, and I'm not a Steelers fan, so I don't follow the ins and outs of the team that much, but I did read some other sports analysts say that there are multiple players on the team that butt heads with Tomlin, so almost like it's a Tomlin issue. And so now it makes me wonder, is he going to be on the chopping block? As if there's enough of an uprising among players saying, we can't play for this guy.
I think ultimately Tomlin is safe. I think he has delivered what the Steelers demand, which is Super Bowls and AFC Championship.
But it's the whole what have you done for me lately, though? Because the last few years haven't been all that hot for him.
But who are you going to get that's better?
Hugh Jackson.
Wow.
Had to throw that one in there.
Hugh Jack ain't going anywhere. Hugh Jack is
he's getting signed by the Bengals. Yeah, unbelievable.
You can light if you can't light one Ohio team on fire, you can light two of them.
And talk about a stunning turnaround. The Browns and Jackson, and they go nuts.
5 out of 6 games, I believe.
So that's got to make you feel real good as a head coach.
Baker just flamed it.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Totally.
So there's obviously there was some big issues going on under the surface there because that team responded something fierce.
Getting back to Pittsburgh, I think that Tomlin's safe. I think Roethlisberger is a gigantic 14-year-old girl that is only concerned about himself.
Yeah,
is a prima donna and puts on a show for the cameras. But the stories that are out there about it, and we have to take all of this with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. It's the internet,
right?
Okay, but I mean, Roethlisberger has been accused and damn near found guilty of sexual assault.
Right.
Okay, and I think he paid it off or something along those lines, but not a good situation.
Right.
And there's more evidence than just that one situation.
And the other thing I forgot to bring up with the Antonio Brown is I think one of the other is going to have to go. I don't think Brown and Tomlin are together next year. And I'm guessing that they might ship out Brown because the other thing I read is that were several players on the team that spoke out against Brown for skipping practice and doing the no-shows on the walkthrough and saying that he quit on the team basically. So I think he's rubbed his head coach the wrong way. He's rubbed some teammates the wrong way.
What did he do? He periscoped at halftime or something?
Yeah. Oh, that was earlier in the year, I think.
It was last year.
Last year. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah.
He doesn't make great decisions, but I've also heard that he's a good guy. I mean, I haven't heard anything bad. He's not out,
getting arrested.
Yeah, getting arrested and all that kind of
Right,
stuff. So,
right.
which is, it seems like every NFL team has an issue like that. So, okay. So as we sit here on January 3rd, we have a whole year ahead of us. Okay. Everything's anew. Nothing is set in stone. We have the Super Bowl, we have the NBA Finals, and we have the Stanley Cup Final, and we have the World Series. I would like you to give me your picks for winners No, the winners of all 4 of them. And I'm going to write them down. So hold on. So we got Super Bowl first.
I was like, you can count me out on Stanley Cup. I couldn't even name half the teams.
Oh, neither can I. Okay, that doesn't... Hey, Leicester City won in the EPL last year, which you have no idea. You think I'm talking about, I don't know.
No.
But, yeah, they were literally like the Cleveland Browns of soccer in England. And then the next year they won the Super Bowl in, the European, whatever that is. So we got Super Bowl, and then we got NBA Finals. And then we've got...
this would be good for a laugh. I'll probably name off
Stanley
some basement
Cup
dwellers.
Final. And then we've got the World Series. Okay, so you give your Wes... Well...
What are we starting with?
Super Bowl.
So this year's Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Saints, of course. So we want matchup or winner? What are you looking for?
You can give me both, but
Okay.
I'm looking for at least the winner.
Okay. Well, Saints are taking it all. We know that. But so on the NFC side, it'll be the Saints. On the AFC side, oh boy, I don't know. I'm going to go Chiefs. So mark that one down.
So hold on, we've got Saints, SAIN, Chiefs. Okay.
And where are we going now?
Now we're going to the NBA Finals.
NBA Finals.
Cody knows what it's about.
Well, they just signed Tulowitzki. The guy's like 75 years
I know.
old. What are they?
What the hell are they doing? Tulo coming back from the old the elevation there.
That's right. Well, he's been in Toronto most recently.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a sweet deal. Sorry to go off on a side tangent. Toronto cuts him loose, has to pay out his final 2 years of his deal, $38 million for showing him the door.
Yeah.
That's a nice
Worked
little
out well
severance
for us.
package. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So NBA, we'll go Golden State Warriors. I'll take the cheap route. Everybody knows that. And Toronto Raptors.
You watched First Take this morning.
Oh, no, I didn't. Is that what they said?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
Raptors. Okay.
The Velociraptors?
Yeah. Right. Okay, so now we've got the Stanley Cup Final.
We'll go, just because they were the hot upstart last year, we'll go with the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Wow.
And then
Golden Knights.
And then the Montreal Canadiens.
Wow, are they even in the same division? You have any
I'm
idea?
picking people on the opposite coast, hoping that they're not.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I will say the Capitals versus Golden Knights because that's who was in it last year.
The Winnipeg Jets.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
So you have the Golden Knights versus
Canadiens.
Hartford Whalers. You
Oh
said?
yeah, there you go.
They're not around anymore. So we've got the
with the National
Canadian
Predators now.
Canada IAIENS Canadiens. Okay, in the World Series. This one you actually know something about, so you're gonna have to break it down.
I know. See, I want to have faith in the Cardinals that they're going to rebound this year, but it may take them another couple of years to get back there. But
You really think they're gonna beat the Cubs?
oh, the Cubs are going down. They're on their way down.
Not if Cubs fans say anything about it.
What's his face? Madden's on the way out because they're not even going to re-up his contract. They're starting to kind of fall apart at the seams. They got the albatross of a contract with Jason Hayward paying him $80 million to hit under 200.
Yeah, right. The Mendoza line.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think the Cubs are... Two things. The Cubs are on their way down, and everybody else in the division's on the way up. The Reds have greatly improved. The Brewers won the division last year, so the Cubs all of a sudden have a whole lot of competition. The Brews are legit.
Ooh, they're young too.
Yeah, they are exactly. Yep. So I'll homer it and say St. Louis, even though I'm not exactly 100% on that, but I'll do the homer thing and do St. Louis Cardinals, and then on the AL side, you can't argue with the Astros. Those guys are just. They're so formidable.
Over Boston?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, okay, you know how hard this is for me to say, but I would
Yeah.
I mean, I'll homer everything and hope that my Yankees can pull it off. But if we pull off my blue and white pinstriped glasses, I would still have to say that Boston is the cream of the crop.
I just think their rotation is not that good. I mean, their offense is what's carrying them. They don't have a complete, well-rounded club, and plus they lost. Well, I guess they could still technically re-sign him, but they lost Kimbrel at the back end of their bullpen, and who else? I don't know. They just don't. I mean, their offense, yeah. I mean, they got a good offensive lineup, but the pitching staff is meh.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so you're going to go Astros.
Yeah.
I love the Astros pick.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I want to, if we're going to have one of those two teams, I want the Stros all day long because I love what's his name. Little shortstop.
Altuve?
Second baseman?
Yeah,
yes. Jose Altuve is one
nuts.
of my favorites.
Yeah.
So you've got Cards versus Stros. Okay, so I'll go over
one of the greatest pictures from, I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before. I think it was the year before, it was Judge's rookie year, is Judge standing next to Altuve.
Yeah, yep.
The tallest guy and the shortest guy. It's a great picture.
That was awesome. Okay, so my Super Bowl pick, I'm going to go left field on this one. I'm going Texans. No, I'm not. I'm going Saints. But I hate to say it, but Tommy's got a chance.
Who?
Tommy.
Oh man, no.
I'm looking at this with like some truth serum, okay? Like what I actually think, not what my mind wants.
They backdoored themselves into a bye, and they barely made it to playoffs. Week 13, people were thinking they might miss the playoffs. So
that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. I hope not, but
amazing.
It wouldn't surprise me. But I think San Diego is a great team as well, and I think San Diego is going to give the Chiefs
That's
a
why
really
I
hard time.
That's why I kind of hedged on the Chiefs because I wanted to say San Diego.
I'm going San Diego.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go.
In prediction here, you can write that down next to my Saints winning the Super Bowl. Is that if they win the Super Bowl, Breeze retires. He'll pull a Peyton Manning and go out on top.
I can see that.
I can see that.
NBA Finals. Oh, Golden State's coming out of the West.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City maybe coming out of the East. No, they're in the West as well though. Sorry,
they are.
Cleveland is nowhere anymore. So yeah,
the Heat.
Really? Did you see their uniforms the other day?
No.
Straight Miami Vice. It was so epic. I'm like, Kim, get in here. Look at this. They had the whole
neon.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
The blue. I mean, the drip was gorgeous. It was awesome. I couldn't believe how awesome that looked. Okay, I'm going to say Golden State versus the Raptors as well.
Wow.
Just because the Raptors are the best team in the nation, or in the NBA.
Right.
So, hockey, Knights versus I'm going to say the Capitals.
The Knights of Columbus.
Yep. And here we go. Baseball. I will say that my New York Yankees versus Cardinals.
Nice.
Here we go. Just because it's going to be great content.
That would be awesome.
Cardinals. There we go. That's it. That's our
prediction.
Predictions for 2019. We got to. I think at some point we should guess more like obscure sports, like what the champions of the
curling
basket. Yes. Did you? Okay, so I read this article on USA Curling yesterday.
Yeah.
And how. And these guys are rock stars. One of the guys had to leave the team because it was taking so much time. I don't.
Huh.
Oh, okay. See who says this. Yes, we know it's the LA Chargers, not the San Diego Chargers. Sorry. The Rams are a legit team.
I do the same thing. I still can't.
Yeah, I can't give them
that.
that. The Rams are a great team. Do you have any more crunch time? Or, I mean,
no, that was it. I just had those two sports.
That was it.
Yeah.
So as we, where do you goals are always a big part of the beginning of the year, and it's such a, I don't know. Even I know that Tia is not a fan of resolutions, and they're the way I look at it is kind of like buying your wife flowers and chocolates on Valentine's Day,
right? And
treating her differently. You should treat her nicely and like she's a queen every day. So I'm right there with resolutions, or you shouldn't have some kind of set date.
Right.
With that being said, did you have anything as you look towards the new year that you set aside or you want to try to accomplish this year? Anything like that?
I would say number one on the list is a new house for us, just something with a good sized yard for the kids to run around in and play outside. So that would be number one priority for me for the new year. Other than that, I don't know. Nothing jumps out as something that I really want to strive for, per se. So
you got the new job,
yeah.
So you just got to go for the new house. That's. I think for me, we didn't get to spend much time outdoors last year, and so this year a big goal of mine is to get outside with the family, go camping more fishing, more stuff with KCP. The world is our oyster. We have so many opportunities to do so much, and we have all kinds of ideas and opportunities and things like that. So we'll see where that leads us. But I just want to get out and do more stuff like that because we didn't get to, and we only got to use the boat once or twice and the trailer once. And that was for one night. So it's that's a big goal of mine is getting out and about with the kids and whatnot, and remove all the professional stuff from it. That's kind of what just spending more time as a family doing that.
Yeah,
so
that's good stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you got anything else? We're about
nothing.
An hour into it. I said a minute. I'm still trying to get my... it's like riding a bike. I can still operate everything and talk at the same time, but it is... curling. Jennifer, you were wondering what curling is. It's that game with the big granite stones with handles
the Winter
on
Olympics.
Yeah, the Winter Olympics. And they brush the ice in front of it, and then the rocks hit each other and fall off or fly.
It's almost
off,
like shuffleboard, but with
just huge,
with a huge granite stone on ice. So
it's pretty sweet. So I mean, it's the ultimate beer sport, and it was in the Olympics. And I guess the guys are just, wherever they go, they're like rock stars, and they're required to have the medals with them. So anyway, well, with that, all of that. Yeah, it is. Check it out.
Yeah, it is.
The Team Schuster is what it's called. SCHUSTER. Team Schuster was USA Curling. So with that, this has been Kinetic Chaos Podcast, episode 69. Nothing else from you?
I got nothing.
He's got nothing. Neither do I. We gone.
See you in a week.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. Thanks for joining us.
I'm glad that David noticed that I was unplugged.
I was see if you were plugged in, but I forgot to.
Not usually.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you a week from now. Have a good night.